Hello everyone, I'm going to be showing you how to create a new state folder in the Onward Google Drive, uh, folder. So the very first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to click on the Google Drive link that either myself or Todd has sent out so you can access this folder. Once you are here, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to state folders. And as you can tell, we've already gotten 4 different state folders in here, but what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to copy this folder right here to mimic it. So this folder is just an example of like kind of the formatting you should follow. For some reason, I cannot figure out how to duplicate folders in Google Drive, and it's not giving me the option here unless I want to add it to my own drive, but I want to leave it here. So what I'm going to do is, well, what I've already done is I've downloaded it. I know this might be the most complicated way. There's probably an easier way of doing it. But for now, I've downloaded it. I unzipped it, and now I have a folder right here. What I'm going to do is I will get this option, and I'm going to keep it separate because I do not want to overwrite the current folder. And immediately, so there's no confusion, I'm going to rename this, let's say my state's Virginia. I want to do all caps to keep it consistent all across the board, so that way this folder looks nice and tidy. So we got Virginia. Now what I want to do is, let me see if I'm able to rename that right now. Let's do Virginia zone map. And then we could leave that one alone because this is going to be the one that we'll probably mess around with. Yeah, this is the one. So, what you're kind of viewing right now, this is like the formatting that we should be copying, so that way it's consistent across all the states. Right here, Jeremy's is going to be working on creating an Excel spreadsheet for your guys' counties for each state. But you know, as we continue pushing forward and the more states we get, he'll continue pushing those out. But you know, right now, hypothetically, I'm just going to use whatever state this is Washington's. I'm just going to use Washington's data for this video example. So I'm going to open this in Google Drive. Give it a second. There we go. Now it's loaded. So what our goal is to mimic this formatting as best as possible, so that way it's nice and clean. What we could do is we could leave this map. We could leave this. We are going to want a zone 1 and zone 2. We can move these to the side for now because our state maps are going to be different from this. But as you notice, there's like outlines right here for the different zones. You will create that within this PowerPoint, and I'll show you guys how to do that. But for now, let's just kind of delete this, delete that. Oh, this one's a bunch of different segments. Okay. And then we're gonna want to find a. We're gonna do Virginia. I think it's VA. Yeah. Yep. So, what we're gonna want to do is we're gonna find a map that's similar to this for Virginia for the counties. Then we're gonna want to find a kind of like population map, you know, similar enough to this. I've done some like researching and for like different states and stuff, and they don't always have exactly the same kind of formatting for both of these maps. But as long as we get close enough and they look neat and you know, they look good, then it should be fine. Hopefully. So let's do this. So what I've already done is I typed in Virginia counties, and what I've noticed is a lot of these gray maps that Todd has been using have been found within Wikipedia, but you know, there's also like government websites like here's California's, here's Texas. You could like go to Google and like you could find similar stuff. But yeah, I mean, let's say hypothetically I want to go to Google. I'm gonna find the exact same map. But you could see gray maps that are very similar to it. Um, See, this one's a white map, so I'm probably gonna stay away from it. The only thing that kind of bothers me about this map is that it has the independent cities, but whatever. We'll use it for now. And then if not, if Todd doesn't like it, he could just yell at me. But so we'll just download this on my desktop. JK, I'm totally just kidding, Todd. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring this guy over here. So let's just drag this dude. Oops, nope. We want it proportional. So you're gonna want to hold shift. Okay, not that much. Okay. So Virginia is a little bit wider, but it's okay. We could work with it. Probably won't look as good as Washington, just because I don't know, but whatever. So what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to break. Well, I guess once Jimmy gives you guys your population Excel spreadsheet for your different counties, you guys will want to figure out how you're gonna want to split up your state into two different zones. You could do west to east or south to north, doesn't matter. I don't know if I said that correct, but I think that sounded right. And once you do, there's this line tool right here. And what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to create, like the original image that we started off with, two different zones. So we're gonna do, like, hypothetically, I'm just gonna start outlining. And you guys will want to take a little bit more time than me when doing this. I'm just doing this for the sake of video purposes. I might speed it up just a little bit. But long story short, you're going to want to kind of like try your best to outline this as best as you can. I'm not doing a very good job. And I expect you guys, oh man, that was awful. I expect your guys' art jobs to be significantly better than mine. Just because, once again, I'm doing this for video tutorial. I'm just showing you guys kind of how it's all done. And then, so once I get that, so once again, I went to this little weird icon thing up here. Well, originally it's going to look like that, but I clicked on Scribble. And once I outline it, these options will pop. So there's line weight, line dash. What we're going to focus on, we're going to do about line weight of 3. Sorry, my brain's all jumbled up. And we're going to want to do one zone with red. So that's our zone 1. Hypothetically, once again, I don't know if these counties are going to be split up like this. This is just for the sake of the video. So we got our county 1. And let's do, oops. And then once again, take more time than me. I'm just doing this kind of sloppy just so I could kind of get this done in a fairly fast way so that you guys aren't completely bored. And then once again, we're going to want to select a line weight of 3. And then let's choose blue. Okay, so we got our 2 counties. And then we're going to want to create one more down the line so that way there's no questions asked. For this one, let me make sure that's selected. Okay. We're going to want to separate the 2 zones with a black line. Ugh. Once again, sloppy job. Don't do what I did. Go to line weight again, 3, and then we'll make this black. So now what we got zone 1, zone 2. Okay, so we got our zone 1 and zone 2. And once again, depending on if you go, up or down, or I guess north to south or west to east when you divide. So like on the other one, you guys notice is north to south. It doesn't really matter how you split it up as long as you split up the zones to where the population's pretty like evenly distributed. That's all that matters. Because you'll notice some areas are going to be more populated than others, and you'll just want to use your best judgment to try to at least get the population as close to split in half as possible. Now we're going to want to find an image to replace this, and then also this. So what we're going to do is we're going to want to find a persons per square mile map, something similar to it. So I already Googled this, Virginia persons per square mile. And there, there's a bunch of different options. Um, there's this, but it's not very. It's kind of pixelated. There's that, but that doesn't have any population. That kind of just looks a little cheesy. This one's like, I mean, it's not amazing, but it's kind of close to the original formatting. Obviously, it doesn't have these nice little uh, green colors. Um, Here, let me go back here. I don't want to mess up the original ones. It doesn't have like the green, red, yellow, and so on, but it is close enough to kind of the general formatting. So let's just download this guy. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring this guy over here. So now we got that there, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it in the left corner, kind of like the same. Try to make it the same size-ish. Sorry, Washington, you gotta go. And that should take care of your population map. So, as long as it looks somewhat similar to the original formatting, or I mean, try your best to make it as similar to the original formatting as possible. You could leave all this stuff obviously just because that'll be consistent. This you'll just want to get from your spreadsheet once Jimmy creates it. You'll just want to create. You'll just want to I think. Let me double check. It looks like a screenshot. Yeah, it looks like a screenshot. So on a Mac, what you're going to want to do for a screenshot is you're going to want to hold Command Shift 4, and it'll give you this little um, screenshot selection option. I know for every computer it's different, so I'm not exactly sure what it is on other computers, so feel free to just do a quick Google. But what we're going to do is we're going to drag, and we're going to try to stay as tidy as possible. So that looks good. What you're going to notice is on my bottom right corner, we're going to get like a little yellow thing, but that's just because I'm screen recording and the software that I'm using is going to automatically do that. So I'm going to get this little weird yellow thing, but you guys will not get that, so don't worry about it. What we're going to do is we're going to replace this one with this one. So that way it's up to date. And there you go. That's the steps you will need to take to update your or to create your state PowerPoints.